This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. On St. Croix, Virgin Islands police give an update this week on their efforts to get guns off the streets and solve the deadly crimes used with those weapons. So far this year, from January to June, on St. Croix, VIPD has taken 43 guns off the streets thanks to tips from the community and officers patrolling the streets. They've also made 17 arrests since the beginning of the year for violent crimes, including murder and rape. 35 of the 43 weapons seized were handguns. They also include 2 pistols, 4 rifles, 1 BB gun, and 1 air rifle. So far this year, there have been 13 homicides on St. Croix. And during a news conference on Tuesday, the head of the Criminal Investigation Bureau put a plea out to the community to help solve these heinous crimes.
Whenever this happens, it is the community who comes out and tells us the information that we need to be able to have the probable cause in order to be able to do the arrest. And so I want to thank the community for doing their part, because your part made it possible for murderers to be arrested, for families to get closure. There is so much more cases out there pending closure. There's not a day goes by that we don't get telephone calls from mothers requesting information about their children's case. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter how bad a child is or how good that child is. At the end of the day, closure is what the family wants. They want to know who, what, why.
And during that news briefing, the lieutenant featured several of the victims of this gun violence. To learn more, you can visit the Virgin Islands Police Department's Facebook page. In the meantime, if you have any information, you're asked to call any of the numbers on your screen. Drivers are now catching a bit of a break at the gas pump as gas prices are falling a bit across several states and in the VI. And Gas Buddy says it could drop even lower in the days and weeks ahead. But what's behind the drop? Which states are seeing the biggest declines? And how long will the relief last?
A plummet at the gas pump. After several months of soaring costs, prices appear to be falling. According to a Gas Buddy analysis, the national average gas price has fallen 27 days straight after peaking to a historic high in mid-June.
There's reason to be optimistic. Gas prices have already been falling for 3 straight weeks.
Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy, says in the weeks ahead we could see thousands of gas stations falling back under $4 per gallon, specifically on the Gulf Coast and southern U.S. states like Georgia, North and South Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, Arkansas, and Tennessee.
Gas prices will go lower, even at those stations that are just freshly dropping under that $4 mark. And a lot of that is because the plummet in the price of oil that's recently occurred will likely take 2 to 3 weeks for stations to fully pass along.
Last week, the price of crude oil dropped below $100 a barrel for the first time since May. According to AAA, the national average for a regular gallon of gas has fallen to $4.68, about 30 cents cheaper than last month. And experts say falling oil prices will continue to keep costs down for consumers, but for how long?
We could see gas prices decline another 25 to as much as 50 cents a gallon in the weeks ahead, as long as there are no unexpected outages or disruptions that could cause oil prices to reverse and go back up.
Potential disruptions include an unexpected outage, major hurricane, or data showing a stronger economy than anticipated.
The Virgin Islands Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs says in the District of St. Thomas and St. John, retailers purchase fuel from Puerto Rico, where the wholesale prices have decreased. So the DLCA has notified fuel retailers in the territory to pass along their current savings to their customers as quickly as it requests price increases when the rack rate goes up. DCLA's commissioner says the department's working diligently to bring fair prices to drivers throughout the territory. Meantime, inflation continues to push prices up for everyday household items, but Elise Preston has some easy, eco-friendly ways to save money.
From the kitchen to the laundry room, And even in the bathroom, many Americans may be flushing dollars down the toilet.
You have the potential to save thousands upon thousands of dollars a year by making small incremental changes.
Paul Hope with Consumer Reports worked on a new review showing how little changes can add up to big savings, including paper towels.
I would say Americans are chronic overusers of paper towels.
Hope's family switched from paper towels to cloth ones for light cleanup.
How much money have you saved switching this over?
We're saving close to $600 a year just by using reusable washcloths instead of paper towels.
You line it up.
Installing a bidet can cut down on toilet paper and save up to $231 a year. Trading in packaged coffee pods for a reusable pod filter can give your budget a $393 jolt. And saving water can save money.
For lightly soiled dishes, you typically don't need a pre-rinse, just a good scrape, put them in the machine, and save that extra water.
Turning the hot water heater down from 140 to 120 degrees can put a cool $453 in your pocket. When doing the laundry, choose the cold water setting.
Our testing pretty routinely finds that it cleans every bit as well as the hot setting.
And Hope says too many people use too much detergent.
Most machines don't need more than about a shot glass worth or 1.5 ounces of detergent to do a really good job.
All the tips are environmentally friendly, helping you go green and save green at the same time.
Some good reminders. I know I always use too much detergent. Consumers worldwide right now, though, are getting some major online discounts. Amazon's Prime Day sales event started Tuesday and goes for 48 hours. Discounts are being offered on many items, including electronics, home goods, and toys. Amazon's annual event attempts to increase loyalty with its Prime subscribers and perhaps draw new shoppers to its program. Last year's Prime Day sales event was the largest two-day sales period for third-party sellers in Amazon's history. Officials say Prime Day brings in around 1 to 2% of the company's yearly sales. U.S. Border Patrol agents and Puerto Rico police seized hundreds of pounds of cocaine that would have been worth several $1 million on the streets. Investigators detected and intercepted a vessel Monday morning with 4 non-citizens from the Dominican Republic on board, transporting 898 pounds or 407 kilos of cocaine near Cabo Rojo. You're seeing some of the seized drugs on your screen now. The estimated value, according to police, of the seized contraband is $8.5 million. The investigation started last Thursday morning when Border Patrol agents spotted the suspected smuggling vessel. A coordinated effort brought in a Puerto Rican maritime unit to eventually intercept that vessel. Before they were nabbed, investigators say the alleged smugglers tried to get away while throwing several bales overboard. Police also recovered a firearm. In all, 346 bricks were recovered from the water. The DEA is prosecuting. COVID-19 cases remain steady territory-wide. According to the latest numbers available from the VI Department of Health, there are currently 178 active COVID cases territory-wide, with 98 currently on St. Croix, 68 on St. Thomas, and 12 on St. John. As we reported, unfortunately, the Virgin Islands has recorded its 119th COVID-related death, the most recent, a 94-year-old woman on St. Croix. Meantime, 2 super infectious Omicron strains have become the dominant COVID-19 variants sweeping the U.S. As we reported, the BA4 variant has been confirmed in the territory. California right now is seeing one of its most significant surges since the start of the pandemic, and a growing concern is the number of people getting reinfected with the virus. Danya Backus has more on why those repeat infections are so troubling.
COVID-19 is surging in San Francisco's Bay Area, where Lois Tucker refuses to lower her guard, especially after seeing her brother suffer with long COVID.
The thing that bothers him the most is his legs and his feet, just like a tingling, numb, strange feeling in his feet.
As highly contagious Omicron subvariants sweep the country, more Americans are reporting second infections. That includes here in Los Angeles, where July 4th celebrations may have fueled the COVID case rate to its highest point in nearly 5 months. And while symptoms are often mild, a new study tracked nearly 40,000 people who had COVID at least twice and found each reinfection creates a new opportunity for serious health risks.
Some people, when they get infected the first time, that infection may weaken their immune system in a way,
or produce some organ damage that make them more vulnerable to having adverse consequences or adverse health risks.
Dr. Ziad Al-Ali led the research, which found patients with 2 or more infections had more than twice the risk of dying compared to patients with just 1 infection. They had 3 times the risk of being hospitalized and faced higher odds of getting long COVID.
If you've had a first infection and you manage to dodge long COVID, having a second infection, you're literally rolling the dice again.
Actor Hugh Jackman and Health Secretary Javier Becerra both reported second infections last month. Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker has had it 3 times, a reality check that the pandemic is different now, but it's not over.
Doctors say the best weapons are still the COVID-19 vaccines and boosters. The FDA has asked manufacturers to design a booster for the fall, which targets the newest Omicron variants.